Hey, this is Mr. Curious. I decided I was gonna make a video tutorial today and teach you guys how to make these custom doors that move with switches. And so there's quite a few steps involved in this, and there's some modifications that will need to be made to your BIO4.EXE. But all of this functionality has been added through the process of reverse engineering and lots of studying with me and a good friend. So I just want to explain how this works and essentially just show you that we've added this functionality, right? You can now move a door with a switch, and the way it works is this area in green here has a trigger zone for two things: for the AEV that's connected to this switch, which is an ETS, and also an ear entry, which turns on an effect. So this model that you see here is not a model within the SMD. It's a model inside the EFF file. It's a 3D model, and the movement is controlled within the EFF file. So essentially, even in the vanilla game, you could have it so that when you walk into an ear zone, an effect turns on. A good example of this is when you walk outside of a building and the rain starts, and you go into the building and the rain stops, or the wind or the fog or whatever. I think 104 has this. You can go in and there's fog. So that's nothing new, this ear thing, but the ability to toggle it is new. So first I'm going to show you how to make a 3D model and put it into your EFF file and trigger it. Then I'm going to show you how to link it with these switches in the ear file. I'll briefly show you the setup in this room here. So we have two AEV events. They're both taking up the same amount of space. So one is for the door that doesn't move. So these are connected to two different ears. So you need two different effects. You need one effect that turns on, and then while the other one turns off, and then the other one has to turn off while the other one turns on. So to make this thing move, it's got to be sitting still. So this is one effect of just the 3D model plopped down on the map. Now the next effect is the door sliding. So what happens when I hit that switch is the first model, the first effect disappears, like the static door disappears, and the sliding one appears and starts moving. It looks like it's one thing, but it's actually two things that are happening. One, the static door is disappearing, and the moving one is appearing and then sliding. And so you can see at this stage, that's just the sliding door. If I hit the switch, now it's just the static door. So those are those two different AEV events, and those are also connected to this ear entry. There should be two. Same deal as the AEV events. There's two of them, and they're basically overlapping the AEV, and that's how this has to work. They sort of have to take up the same space. Doesn't have to be exact. They can be a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, but in general, they need to occupy the same space. So I've made this door that we're going to use as a model, and I'm going to show you where I want to put that. I was just going to make this tonight, and I was like, oh, I might as well make a video of me doing this. And so this is an EFF model, and they are, I think, 100 times smaller than an SMD model, and I can show you. Like, say this is my room here. You know, you've got some crates or whatever, but you'll see how small this model is. Like, it's tiny. So you'll have to make these to scale. A good way to do that is just to open one up that's already there and sort of scale it to that. So I've already scaled my model, and I've already applied the textures, and I've already given it a bone. So I've already skinned this, and it's going to be exported as an SMD. And so I'm just going to make sure I do that now. So you've got to export your SMD, and then you've got to export your object file. So you have a material. And so this ends up inside your EFF. It's going to be effect model. And so this is what I just exported. And we'll see that I've probably got to rotate it or something, but we'll see it how it looks in the game. So I'll show you in the game here. I've got this elevator, and I want to put like a sliding door on the front of this, so that you have to like hit a button or do something, and then it'll slide this open. And to do that, like, that means I can put a lock on it if I want. So you got to go find some lock or key to like open this sliding door. And I haven't really thought about how it's going to work with I'll probably have to rebuild the walls around here a little bit, but just for the sake of this video, I'll just throw it in here. Okay, so the first thing is to make the model. That's what we've done. Now there's some stuff we need to do. We need to put in the effect, which is of it sliding, and then of it static. We have to update our tables. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to do here, so I'm just going to start working away here. Now I'm working off of one that I've already made, so I'm going to be jumping back and forth from this 109 one and just copying stuff and pasting it. But you'll see in this tab that I have here, this is what we need. We need table 4. Each of these is a model, so there's only going to be one model in this. And these are the different names that I've seen being used. 3D, 3A, I've seen 5.4, 5.6, whatever. Not really sure what they are, but they're basically just IDs. And that will go in your effect. You'll see that in table 4 we have 3D. Now if we look in this other room here, this testing room that I have, okay, so yeah, I'll close this ear off so you can see this. So there is the effect of the door. That's just the door staying still. So that one was 5.4. I guess we'll just put 5.4 in here just to make it congruent. Alright, and the second effect is the door sliding. It's in the exact same position, but they're in different groups, and you're like, why is that? Well, because each of these groups has its own ear trigger, and so each one gets triggered differently by the AEV. So I'm just going to go and export these two things together just to some file on the desktop. And then I'm going to go into my EFF in my room here. Okay, so I'm going to need to make two groups, 6 and 7 here. Create layer. Where did that go? Where is it? Sorry, I don't know where these layers are going. Oh, here we are. So group 6, and this is going to be a static door. And this one is going to be group 7, static door. And then I'll just import that object on the desktop with those two effects. And I'll stick, so this, oops, I called the second one static, but it actually needs to be sliding. And my typing is horrendous. Please forgive me. Okay, so there we have those two effects in separated folders. So then I would just go in effect 1. Oh, see, I've already got all these extra 6, 7. I can just delete these. I'm not even using them. And so I'm going to just export. Oh wait, before I do that, I need to position these things. So where are these effects? Okay, they're way over here. So that elevator that I showed you is down in here somewhere. Hang on, I'm just going to move this. Maybe I can get rid of some stuff. Anyway, we'll get it just in the general area for now. This room's been tricky to work with because its X and Y axis is weird because of the geometry of the building I was working on, so I keep having to change my working pivot. It's a pain in the butt. Okay, so anyway, that's there. I'm going to export these now. So this is to group 6, and this one is going to be to group 7. Okay, so now we have the position. Now we need the effect. And that's something I'm willing to share with you guys too. Like, you can just go off of what I have here. So I'll copy this text file. This is from, oh shit. I just, oh my god, I just nuked my other thing. I need to actually extract this now because I deleted stuff I shouldn't have deleted. Let's go back. Sorry, it's fine. So this is 11 and 12. So I'm just going to copy those, and those should have gone in here as 6 and 7. I hope my effect file for that other room stays intact. Okay, so let's re-export those again. Sorry about that. Oh, see, that's the trouble with having two rooms open. Sometimes you export stuff to the wrong place. Okay, so this is our static model. This is the door that's just not moving, and this is the one that's going to move. And that's in group 7. Now you can see that there's some other thing here with the name. The tool is not going to read this. This is just a backup of some other thing that I had. Okay, so let's look at the effects. There's the 5-4. Okay, that is our 3D model. So it's basically, it draws that. The position is determined by the that little triangle that we exported, so this doesn't really matter. And you can change the axis of it, which we'll probably end up doing here. Let me make sure I'm recording here. Okay, good. You can change the color. You can see how quickly it fades, etc., etc. But there's nothing much to it. If this is the static one, there's not much going on. It's just the size and whatever. Okay, so that's that. And you'll see the difference here in the moving one. So this again is the same model. These are the movement parameters, and it took me a long time to mess with this to find out how to move something sideways. But this is one of them, and this is the other two. I think one of these creates a pause or something, or I just feel free to experiment, but there's like a lot of different ways to make these things move. Okay, so that's going to be the same effect model, but it's just going to be moving. Now we need to update our tables. Okay, we've added 2 new groups to this effect 1 folder. So the first thing we need to do is edit the IDX. So we have 7 groups, or group 7, so that makes 8 groups. We've added table 4 because that is basically a list of all the models. And I think we are adding, is there anything else? Oh, model count. Here we go. So we have to add one of those. Next we have to go into, let's look at table 4 again, sorry. Okay, that's good. Oh, table, I think, let me just have a look at the previous one. No, okay. That's table 0, table 2. Okay, I know what we need to do. We need to go into table 0. Now this, oh sorry, we need to go into table 2. This is a list of all the groups in effect 1 folder. So when you see FFFF, it means you'll see the effect no matter where you are in the room. If you see a number like this, that is the ear. There's a byte in the ear file that links it. So you'll only see effect group 5 when you walk into this area that is determined by the ear file with this link. So what we're going to do is add 2 more because we did 6 and 7. Oops, 6, 6, 6. We're going to use 14 for that one, and then 7, 7. And this is, wait, 5, whoops, 6, 7, 7, 7, and this will be 15. I've explained a lot of this in this tutorial. It's called Toggling Effects with an AEV Event. All the information is here, but I thought the video would be helpful too. But these values here, these 13, 14, 15, you'll never see those in the game. Usually you'll just see like 1, 2, 3, or 4. But to make this extra functionality, I asked my friend to make some different allotments. So we can use anything between 11 and 1D for custom ear links. You can feel free to use any of those values, but you won't see those anywhere else. And that value you will also see in our AEV. So we've just added 6 and 7. Those two new effects are static and our moving door. Now we have to update the entry count. This effect file, I think, is ready to go. So I'm just going to repack that. Okay, it's good. So I'm just sidechaining that for now. Now the other magic. We've got to go and make some AEV stuff. Now, just for the sake to make sure that my model and everything's working, let's just see if that thing is in the game. Now to do that, I've got to go and just put this and this. So we should see the moving one and the static one. Okay, that should show up in the game. Oh wait, I forgot one thing. There's so many steps to this. You got to be just really careful. I exported. Oh, see, I'm in the wrong place now. I exported. I'm vaping, by the way, if you can hear that. Homemade juice. Anyway, I've exported this model. We need to repack it. Okay, so I've got 0, 0, and the pack file that I'm in is 22A. So let's repack that. Okay, so it makes 0 bin and 0 TPL. I think we're good. So I've got just a script here that repacks that. And you can see that it's 11:59. Okay, that should now appear where our elevator is. If I haven't missed something, there's so many things you can miss. This is kind of a pig of a room, so it takes a little while to load. There you go. Okay, so you saw the one move, and then you saw the one that stays. So we can make it now so that when you walk into the ear zone, it turns this on. So let's do that next, and then we'll do the AEV at the final step. Okay, so just for the sake of this video, we're gonna make these on number 4 for now. Okay, I'm just gonna repack that. Again, this is the table 2. Whenever we walk into the ear zone that has this byte with 4, we'll see those doors. So now let's go to the ear file. I've got one that covers the whole room. Now the reason why I do that is so that there's no walking out of it and then the thing disappearing. But for the sake of that little area that we're going to over there, we'll use this guy. I don't think he's being used. Okay. Okay, so that's we're going to export this now to our ear working ear folder. Now let's edit the entry so that it links with the EFF file. So this is our final one. So this is going to be sliding. They're still both going to appear, and eventually we'll make separate ones for the sliding or whatever. So we're just going to put door for now. This is the link right here. This is what links table 2. Or sorry, yeah, sorry, table 2. Okay, so FFF means I can see it everywhere. 4 means that I can only see it in these ear entries that have number 4. Okay, so this one has 4 already, so I'm going to use a different one. I think I'll use 4, 13, 3. Okay, let's use 3. We'll just keep it on 3 here. Okay, so I'm just going to save that and change these to 3. I don't know how that ended up in there. Okay, so I'm going to repack this ear file, and then I'm going to repack the effect file. Now, this should appear again because I saved within the trigger zone. We'll see it right away, but I'm going to walk in and out of that trigger zone so you can see that effect. Now this is all stuff you can do without the modification of the binary. Okay, we haven't done anything magic yet. Okay, there it is. That's where the trigger zone is, right there. Boom, boom. Okay, so we're going to link that now to the AEV. But let's rotate and scale those doors. How do we do that? So you go into your effect. We've got, is this the sliding one or the, okay, so this one's sliding. I should, well, there's different ways to do it. You can move the model, and since this room is all weird angles, I'm more inclined to move the model itself. But you can do all that with this rotation here, vertical axis. So I might as well just try this. I'll just put, oh no, you know what, I'm going to just do it in here. So 45, and I have to do that for both models. And then just repack that EFF. Oh, and the scale is off. Sorry, I'm going to scale those while I'm at it. So, because they're too big, right? So I'm just going to put this at like 120. I'm just guessing from what I looked at there. Okay, let's repack that and have a look again. Now, wow, see, you can see this thing really shot out like changing the scale actually changed how far it went, which is kind of crazy too. So sometimes you might want to scale something in the actual model itself. Let's do an experiment there. Put those back at 200 and then go back to my model. I'm just going to rotate it a little bit. See if that helps. And then I'm going to scale it. I've got to take the skin off though. And let's just do that. And then we will reapply the skin. Oh, what happened there? So we hit the envelope, then we hit add to the bones. The bones we can use will only be visible here if they're visible in our scene. You can see that it's been applied, so now it's just a matter of, whoops. Now I'm using this Valve SMD exporter by Neil Zedzewski. I will wonderboy.org. That's where you can get this one. But there's different ones you can use. Okay, so we're going to go back into our effect model folder and repack that. And then repack the EFF. And we'll see what difference that makes on the movement of the door. In this case, I don't think it matters because I'm just going to like hide it behind a wall. Like it's going to slide right out of view. Sometimes we want it to stay. Yeah, see that? Oh, I forgot to scale the other. Or are they the same scale? And so to quickly just, you know, look at that, you can just walk in and out of that trigger zone. Okay, so now the next step here is to create an AEV event. Now this is only going to work if you include these edits that that are down in this file here. Okay. So you've got to go in and edit your exe. You know, you've got to find this and then change it to that, and it won't affect any other part of your game. Okay, this is just added functionality. So now we're going to look at the AEV, and I'm going to just do the same thing. Whoops. I'm going to take this one and copy it. So that's going to be 26. And these types are just type 2s because they're just general general triggers. They don't really do much. Okay, so we're going to name this ear. What were we doing? 14, 15, I guess. 14. We're going to make another. Oh, and that one's going to be, sorry, ear 14, and this one's called door static. So that's the door that doesn't move. And then we got door, sorry, ear 15, door sliding. Okay, so we're going to go and export that to our AEV. Okay, now this is the fun part. We're going to go into our AEV. Now I'm going to just copy this from my other one. So I think it's the last two, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, okay, so I'm just going to copy those and then I'll explain the parameters. So we got 26 and 27. Okay, so this is ear, we said 14, 15. Now let's look at the ear file again. Sorry, there's a lot of bouncing around here, so just try and... So we're going to table 2. Okay, 14, 15. These are the ear entries. Okay, so this is going to be ear 14. This is just that value that we put in there. And I've got to make another one here. So number 4, ear 6, 14, 15. Now these have to be same deal. They've got to be big. They've got to overlap. Basically, you can just copy the polyhedron from the AEV if you want. But I'm just doing it manually right now. Okay, so that basically covers the entire room. That means no matter where you are in this map, that door is not going to just magically disappear. Okay, so we're going to export this to the ear. Now we added an entry. Okay, so this is door static. It was 3 when I was just testing it to show you, but now it's going to be 14, 15. So number 3's got this 14 byte. That 14 byte is in here in the table 2. Okay, so 14, and we're going to copy this and make that door sliding. And that's going to be 15, and we got to up the index and also up our count. Okay, so now whenever you walk into 15, the sliding door is going to move. Whenever you walk into 14, but then we will toggle them with the switch so that they won't appear at the same time. Okay, so that's enough for that. So let's repack the ear file. And back to our AEV. Okay, so this is the static door. This is the important part, okay? This being number 3 means the door will always appear. That this ear file, this will always be active with the link of the AEV. When you're in that trigger zone, this is on. Okay, this is for the switch. We'll leave that for now and just put it at 0. this is the ear link right here. This is the thing that we need to link up. Okay, so this is number 14. And then we do the same thing in the next one over. Except this one's off, you see? The other one was 3, and this one's off, so that switch will flip it. And so this one is 15. Okay, so let's check our indexes and make sure that they aren't present in here already. Okay, 1 match, that's good. Okay, we're safe there. So we've added 2 entries, so that's going to be 28. And I think I exported the object, but I'm not sure. Let's have a look. 12:11 a.m. No, I haven't yet. Unless a lot of time just passed. Okay, so we've got our ear updated. Do we have our AEV updated? Okay, that's all ready to go. Lots of steps here, I know. Try to keep up. A lot of bouncing around between files and objects and connecting bytes. It's really crazy, but it's amazing what you get out of it. Okay, so let me think. Is there anything I missed? No, 14:15. We've got 14:15 here. So what should happen now is wherever I am, you're going to see just the static door. That's it. All you're going to see is the static door. So we're going to need something to turn that on, and that's what those other bytes were that I put to 0. We can make it so when we break an ETM object, that thing opens. We can make it when you kill an enemy, that thing opens. We can do lots of things, but for the purpose of this, we're going to make a switch. Oh Christ, where's my door? Let me walk out of this and see if it shows up. Oh, my lights turn off. Okay, so something is wrong here. What did I do wrong? See, there's so many things that can go wrong here. Let's double check. We got the ear 3 is 14. Oh, I didn't repack the effect file. And that's the wrong one. Here. Sorry about that. We should see the static door. Oh man. Not here. Okay, so just to double check, if you want to like make sure everything's still working, you can just do that and repack your effect file. That'll just show me that my model's at least repacked and that the effect file is working. You got to troubleshoot. Okay, so the effect file is working. Just the link is not working yet. So 14. We need 14 to show up when we go into this ear zone. I'm just going to repack everything and resend everything out. Hopefully that works. Maybe my trigger zone wasn't as good as it ought to be. Let's see this. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna copy the ear and treat this and just use that. Like, it'll be the exact same size. AEV, where are you? Where are you? Okay, here. Static and sliding. Maybe those trigger zones didn't line up properly. Hopefully it was just a trigger zone issue. See, with so many moving parts, pardon the pun, there's quite a few things that can go wrong, and so troubleshooting with this is like really important. If something's not working, you've got to go retrace your steps. And so maybe I didn't repack, I don't know. There's so many, I'm tired, there's a lot of steps here. Okay, let's try that again. So we should have a solid AEV here. There, see, that was all it was. Now let's have some fun. All we need to do is connect it to something to turn it off and on. So we can do an enemy. I'd like to try that actually. I'm gonna do that while we're here. Let's see if this guy's still alive. I've got an enemy that's like really close to that door. Maybe I killed him. I think I killed him. Let's see now. What do I gotta do? I can just go back a save. We're gonna jump to that room. And so with this, there's a byte that we can assign either an enemy ID, an ETS, or an ETS ID to toggle those two effects from appearing. Well, we got to make our way down there. Now I'm making this video before I've released Resident Evil Remix, but I don't plan on releasing this video until later. So by then things might have changed in the remix, I don't know. I'm just making this because I'm doing it while I'm doing it. I might as well make a video. Okay, so there's this enemy. Alright, we're gonna save. Sorry, here. Oops, I gotta do it again. Okay, so let's figure out what this guy's ID is. Let's see, ELS. Oh, I didn't write down which one it was. Okay, so he's gonna be this guy over here. Okay, he's 112. Let's just guess which one is 22A. I've got a script from Mario Kart that works quite well, but I just haven't familiarized myself with it, and for the sake of this video I'm just going to use the old tools. But his ESL tool is amazing. And you can actually search for the room number and everything. Okay, you think of modding this game for 4 or 5 years, I would know this by heart, but I don't. Or even have a list. Good grief. Here we go. What number did I say it was? 112. Okay. Well, that's 112 in decimal. So we need to switch that over to hex. So 70. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this byte back in our AEV on these last two entries. Sorry, what number is that? 6871. Okay, so let's look at this. 70 is the ET or the enemy ID. If you're using a breakable object, you use 02. If it's an enemy, you use 01. So that should, in theory, turn this thing on. By default, it's 2. So when you kill this guy, in memory, this changes to 3. And then the opposite will happen if we put the same value at 6871 in this previous entry, which is the static door. Put that in there. Killing him will turn this off in memory to 3 or to 2. Okay, so that's the link. I've never done this with an enemy. This is just trying this out. So let's see if it works. I know it works with a switch. I don't know with killing this guy. We'll see. So in theory, when I shoot this guy, the door should open. And so you could have all kinds of fun with this. It doesn't have to be an opening door. It could be a bomb going off. Oh, that was so anticlimactic. Oh, wait. Haha, it worked. Let's do it again. Oh my god, that was funny. But the static door stayed, which is not what we want. I don't know what happened there. A static door should have disappeared. So we got a problem there. But right now that guy is a living switch. So let's have a look at our so the sliding one's working. 3. I wonder why that doesn't turn off. That's really strange. EV14. Anyway, so let's change it up. Let's change it to a switch now. Okay, so we're gonna change that. It's gonna be an ETS thing. So we're changing that to 2, and this is gonna be our ID here. We'll put that back in a second because we need an ID first. Okay, so let's go now to our ETS. I'm just gonna stash these, and where are we? ETS. Okay, now what I've done is I've made a lever just like you saw in that very beginning of this video, but I've made it invisible. Like I basically made like a one little poly and assigned it a transparent texture. The reason for that is I want to make a button or something so it appears like you're pressing a button instead of a switch going. Okay, so but in theory it's exactly the same lever. It's got an ETS ID of E0, but we just don't see it, which is kind of tricky because you have to rotate the model. Like you have to be those switches, you can't operate them from every angle. You have to face, like, I think the front 180 degrees. Like you can't be behind it. Door switch invisible. Okay, so we will definitely have to rotate it because it's gonna be where'd the rest of my map go? Jeez, I'm down here somewhere. Where did the rest of that go? I must have turned the whole thing off. I'm just going to use SOT so I can have an idea of where I am here. Okay, so I'm going to put that switch, I don't know, I'll just stick it in front of the sink here somewhere. So we're not really going to see it. Actually, no, I'll put it over here because I want to be standing back. Okay, it'll be somewhere in here. Okay, so this is ETS now. So we're going to open up our ETS working directory. For 22A. We're going to add one of those. So E is the number of this ETS switch. We're just going to up everything. And the ETS ID we just changed. I'm going to count. Okay, there's only one of those. And I'm going to rotate it, I don't know, something arbitrary, just because I know it's different than the other one. Okay, so 2B is our ETS ID. So I'm going to save that. And, oh wait, first I need to export the object file to the working directory. I've updated that. I'm going to repack this. So now we're going to the AEV. Now we said it's 2B. So that's where we put this in the AEV. So when this switch gets pulled, it's going to turn on the sliding door, and in theory it should also turn off this one. I'm not sure why it didn't work before. So anyway, we're going to repack. Okay, so you got that. Number 2 is because it's an ETS. 2B is the ETS ID. That turns this off and the other one on. So basically you're breaking the ear link to the AEV file when you flip that switch. Get your dome split, brah. Oh my god, he's back from the dead. How did I get attacked by somebody? He wasn't quite dead. Alright, so our switch is here somewhere. Where is it? Oh my god, that's the problem with making invisible switches. Oh my goodness, where is it? I knew that was going to be a problem. Alright, let me just look at this again here. Oh, it's like in the floor somewhere. And it's also like the same color as the floor, so I can't even tell if it's... I'm just gonna... Oh god, I need something else. Sorry. Here, I'm just gonna give it a... I'm just giving it a texture so I can see where the thing is. Alright, that looks like about the right height. Okay, let's try that again. ETS. And double checking. ETS2B. I updated that. Okay, that should be good. Sorry, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I gotta do things a couple of times. Troubleshoot, troubleshoot, troubleshoot. Now, if this doesn't work, I might be forced to like put in a switch that I can actually look at. God, it's gotta be in here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so it works. I'm gonna flip that around because Echo, what is 180 minus 55?
180 minus 55 is 125.
Okay, let's try. I don't even know if my math is right. But we still have a problem here, and that's that the door is not the static door isn't disappearing, and so we need to figure out what's going on with that. So I'm going to look in the ear here. Door static 14001 15011. Huh. See the ear links here? This is 3. I'm going to change the index on this. I don't know why, but no, that's not going to make any difference. It's showing up, so I don't know. I might just try it. 1D, 1E, 15. Sometimes I've got to go and look at my own notes. No, you see, if this is all proper, there's just one thing that's not working. Maybe it's in the EFF file. Okay, we're good there. Table 2. 1415, number 6. EFF. Number 6 is the static. 14. Huh. Everything appears to be right. Okay, I'm just going to repack everything. I don't know. And my EFF and my ETS. Oh, crash. So if this doesn't work, I'm going to switch up the IDs like a 14 to something else. And maybe that will help. There's one more option after that. Now those bytes that are at 5.2 that are 2 and 3, we can also use 1 and 0 with this other functionality that I have, which makes it so that the switch is only operable once. So using a value of 0 would be the same as 2, and using a value of 1 would be the same as 3. Oh geez, this thing's almost right. I want to be able to see it while I operate it. There we go, I fixed it. Alright, so let's just get this ETS thing going. Let's do 175. There's so many bloody like things you have to do to make this work that like it's just important to check everything and make sure, because you just one byte can make things wrong, or like forgetting to repack something. Oh, this bloody switch though. Okay, it's like totally the opposite of what I need, so I just need to be like 5. Sorry. It would be so much easier if if the switch that I had was actually visible. So the reason why I'm using an invisible switch is that I'm going to add some effects that get triggered. I'm going to have a little green light and a little red light. So it'll say operate, and you'll press it and it'll go green. And all right, here we go. Boom. See, look at that. I'll just keep hitting it. So you can see it doesn't quite line up with the door. Actually, I don't know. Kind of looks like it does. Oh no. So that angle's off. So you would go in to your effect, sliding door, and so the axis, maybe, I don't know, I'm going to try 30 and see if that's the right way. I've got quick shortcuts from my 3ds Max that repack my EFF files and stuff. Basically, Mario Kart wrote me this little Max script that launches external bat files and auto hotkey scripts, so I can just... Oh, see, did I go... Okay, so that was a little bit too far. So I'd say about halfway between. I'm going to try 37. Now, normally when you're dealing with like normal rooms, you're not going to be dealing with these weird values, but the model I have isn't lined up and the room isn't lined up, so I'm just dealing with odd angles. But normally you're going to be you'll be able to visually like line up your effect model like on an x-axis or y-axis perfectly, and you'll only be dealing with like 90 degrees or 45s or whatever. So we're pretty close. I think I think it needs to be 40. Okay, so let's make, after this, let's make some more effects that will, we'll have a button. We'll make some kind of button on the wall. And I think I know a room I can take a button from. Is that straight now? Pretty good. Yeah, it's awesome. And I just need to lower it and scale it and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so basically now we have this door. Oh god, it's still coming out at a weird angle. Anyway, I won't make you suffer through all that. But let's at least lower it for now. Should be as high as the floor, I think, because the bone is actually... God, doing this with the SOT though is driving me bonkers. I need to actually see my room here. Bunker pipes. Where is it? Where's this model, man? Shaft, shaft, shaft. Good grief, where is this model? I'm sorry, you guys. I need to find this. Bunker pipes. No, it's not the pipes. God, I wish I knew which model this was. Bunker wires and pipes. Basement extras. Damn, oh, bunker main. Here we go. Alright, let's get those effects going again. Maybe something like this. There we go. All right, let's get those out. God, this is gonna be a long video. Okay, so that's that. But I'm gonna add some effects, okay? So let's look at this testing room. I've got these blooms. Here's a green bloom. These are from the laser corridor. Like there's like a red light and a green light. So I'm just going to export this to, I have this file on the desktop called box, and it's basically this file that I interchange for all my exports. So I just export this to that. Now we're going to import this to the static door. Okay, so let's import that box. Okay, I guess I already have those in here. Okay, so our first effect is 0, which is the sliding door, so we need to rename all the rest of these. So this is going to be 3. So 1, 2, 3. Huh. I don't like how it named those. I'm going to import these another way. Import no name conflict is a script I have that allows me to import things with the same name, and 3ds Max won't have a fit. Okay, there we go. So zero. I'm going to just name all of these over again. Whoops. And keep them in order. So 0, 2, 3. Okay, so now we have our static door and then these green blooms. So those will also show up right away. And we need to position them. And I'll just stick them somewhere. The thing is with this this switch that we have here, like I could put this switch by the door over here, but like you're not gonna really see this thing open. So sometimes it's neat to think of like putting your switch somewhere farther away so you can see the whole door open. So like maybe I could build a panel here or something, but for the sake of this I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'll use this panel. I'll just put it here. So I'm gonna have to move that. So where am I here? Is that the panel? No. What is that thing? God, I'm missing a bunch of stuff. I really need to, not using walls and ceiling. There we go. Exterior elevator walls. Let's get those going. There we go. I'm still missing that panel though. Let me just see. Oh, it's right beside that. Okay, I'll just put it here. Okay, so back to this. These green blooms. I'm just gonna stick them by this wall here. God, sorry, it's my viewport is not optimized. I mean, it should have all this like isolated and whatnot. Okay, so there it is. So we're gonna export this to group 6 now. And if you wanted to grab those, you would have to go through all the effects in the laser room, but for me, I've already got them exported somewhere. They are in see, and I make lists too. I'm very meticulous about lists. Green bloom is group 10. Okay, so we're just gonna copy those. Now it says that there's 4 effects, but we only copied 3. we copied 32, 32, 13. 32, 32, 13. What's the extra one? Oh, that's a light. That's Albert's light. We could also add that if we want, but I won't. Okay, so we're going to copy these three effects. Whoops. And we're going to paste them in the same text file as group 6. That's 7. Here's 6. Okay, so this is static door. And these all need to go up 1, 3, 2, 1. And then, so now this needs to go up to 4. Did we already export this? Yes, we did. Okay, so I think it's just a matter of, whoops, repacking now. Now those green, I'm going to get rid of the enemies for the sake of not having to shoot that guy every time. And give myself a small piece of chocolate while I wait for my room to load. Wow, it's been an hour. I've been at this for an hour. Okay, there's the bloom. It's huge though. And it needs to be rotated. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see, it should be the same. Let's try that. See. I don't know, put this way down. Vertical axis to vertical size. Oh, you see some of these are bigger than you know what? I've got these in another room that are the right size. So what I'm going to do is go grab them from there. These are in my... I made them big for that other room just for the sake of showing people that when it wasn't this tiny little thing. So I'm in 205. List. Actually, I want red. Oh, it's a fading bloom. Oh, right. I made it so it's fading. Well, we can fix that. Can't remember why I did that. Anyway, we'll grab it from there, group 20. Okay. Sorry about that. So effect 0 is our static door. And these three effects are going to be a bloom. And they're fading out for some reason. I remember it's just because I could actually show you what it looks like. But you'll see in no time anyway. So 3, 2, and 1. But we do need to change the vertical axis 240. I'm assuming it's gonna be the same as the door. My apologies for making a video in a room that's so crooked. Okay, so that's that. I think I can just repack now. So the idea will be that it will be red before you press it, and when you press it, it will go green. Where's that red bloom? Jeez. Damn, it was working and then I messed it up. Anyone see a red bloom around here? Hey, you see a red bloom around? You see a red bloom? Okay, well, that didn't work out so well. I might just, what is going on, dude? Is it inside this thing? Maybe it's the fading thing. Anyway, sorry, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm gonna go back, 2, 3, and I'll just keep that green bloom there, and I'll fix it on my own time. Okay, I think it's back to the what it was. Green, yeah, okay. And I'll check this again, and then I'll get the red ones going. But anyway, you have a general idea of now of how to link everything, and I'm just kind of showing you extra examples of like what you can throw in along with it. So this green bloom will turn off when I see, and then it'll turn the red one on. So let's just do the red one. I'll grab it from red bloom, group 9 in this other one. This is, yeah, right here. I actually want it red first and then green, but I'll switch that around later. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I'm taking those and I'm going to paste them in number 7 on the sliding door here. And you don't have to change these numbers that I'm changing here right now, like the amount of effects, but I just, as a general practice, I do try to stay fairly organized. Okay, so we also need these to be in number 7. You can see I copied them in 3ds Max and they changed the numbers here, but that doesn't really matter. I could actually just export this as it is to oh, actually no, I need to move, or no, I'll keep it in the same place. But anyway, I can still just export these just to the different folder. Number 7. Okay, that should be it for that. I still need to rotate it and stuff, but anyway, it'll switch to red when I press that lever. Now, this functionality doesn't exist at this moment of making this video, but it should be done by the time the video's published. This word operate, there should be a function by the time the video is done that will allow you to change which word that is. And there's going to be a byte somewhere in your AEV. I think it's going to be in here somewhere. And you're basically going to be able to take a byte and put in like 4D or something around here that will allow you to change the prompt. So it could say check, it could say kick, it could say whatever, push or whatever. But right now that functionality isn't around. All right, so anyway, let's test this out with the red. Oh, interesting. Look at that. It's totally interfered with the sliding door. And I've had this problem before where like the game just gets overloaded or something. Like it can't handle it. So you've got to I don't know, let me just try doing 2 effects. Sometimes you'd have to make a whole other ear entry and a whole other AEV and a whole, like, it's, I don't know why that there's a limitation, but sometimes I've hit walls where like I can't stack a shit ton of effects in one thing, which really bugs me actually. But what can you do? Okay, so I just changed this to 2 and I just exported these 2, so there's only 2 effects. So basically right now I'm troubleshooting to see how many effects I can put into that second folder. Game crash. So if that's the case and I'm like, my heart is stuck on having those red things there, I can essentially make a whole new ear entry with its own ID and have those, and then just have them triggered by the same switch. It's not that hard, and I don't think there needs to be, I don't know. Yeah, you still need an ear link and all that. So you'd basically just make an extra layer of a new ear, a new AEV, and just link it to the same switch. But it's a lot of trouble just for one little... Okay, let's see. Yeah, see, it's happy with... Huh. It's still green, though. It's weird. It's quite weird. I don't know why that's green. I thought this was the red one. Actually, I'm just going to leave that. There's probably a reason for that, but I'm going to try it with 3 now. So let's add one more. So this is troubleshooting 101. It's like, how many effects does it take for this thing to be happy or unhappy? What is it? Is it something within that last effect? Is it a parameter? Can I put a different effect in there? I'm not sure what it is. All right, so it's happy. It's that final, see this outer glow sort of thing? That's what it's not happy with. And I don't know what else is going on. Like this effect has got some kind of glitchy shit going on. I noticed that too. I have to relook at that. Anyway, so there you have it. There's a sliding door with some extra switches. And yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go into 30D. And you see with that scenario what we've created, we've basically, we all know this room here with the regenerators. I've made my own version. But this button, that could basically be my invisible switch. I could have that. You know, you press this. We could even have a camera link to it. We can make this exact scenario. We could do all of that. Oh, and by the way, I forgot that we need to have another thing in our AEV here. We need to have something that blocks this doorway. Don't know how all this stuff got turned off. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this one here. It's going to be 28. It's a type B. And so that is going to basically serve as a block while that door is open, or while that door is closed there. We need to make it so that the player can't get through here. So I'm going to just add this layer here. Okay, so that's with the AEV that's gonna be exported. And then we need to go here. Do we have a type B at all? Okay, there is one. I've got one that blocks the enemies from going through where my other elevator is. So I will use that and show you how to turn that off so it works for everybody. 27, so this is going to be 28. Index, I don't know, 40. I'm just jumping around here. So this was what makes it only for the enemies. So I'm going to put that back to normal, and I think this byte does it too. Okay, so all we have to do now is hook our switch into it. This 6871. Kateo is the one who showed me this. I'm so grateful for this information. It's just made my life so much better, or my scenarios. Okay, so this thing by default is on, and so when we throw that switch, this block will turn off. Okay, so we need to up this to 29, and I just did that. Okay, so let's repack our AEV. Where are we here? And I think I'm going to stop the video soon. I mean, I could keep going and show you all the me fixing every little thing, but there's no point. I just wanted you to see how to do it, and now you'll see it, like all the functions of like this door. Okay, let me make sure my collision is on first. Okay, now it's on. Hey, Knuckle, what happened here? Where's my AEV? Why isn't that working? Troubleshooting. So I need to turn off these big guys for a second. Sometimes the problem is just with the trigger zone, really. And so I know that this one works at this height. So I'll just keep it simple and not move anything. If you know something that works at a certain height, just use that. It doesn't look like it touches the floor though. It's weird. But you know what? The AEV in this room 22A is just psycho weird. Like all the Z values are weird. Like you have to be underneath or over top of your thing in some places. It's just a pain. Oh, I didn't save. See that? Look at that. I didn't save before I made my changes. So it's like those small little things that we forget to do in this process that can just make something not work at all. I think I spent 4 hours the other day trying to fix something, and it was something very similar where I just didn't hit save. Dude, like crazy. Alright, so let's see if the blocking's working. Alright, see, I can't get through. Let me through. And of course I will need to line this up with where it is. I know it's not perfect. So now I can operate it. And boom, I'm through. Oh. Now, a sound. There is a way to get this to do a sound. But I can't remember it right now. Let me think. Let me show you one in action that I made. 317. Good grief, where's my door? Dude, this door is just like not here. What the fuck? Oh, I know what's going on. Files, stage. I don't know how I remembered this because I just saw it by chance. I was like, why does that have a back on it? Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear, but there is a sound. I'm going to blast this in case you can't. And see, I made it so that this switch only goes once. And so the sound, how did I do that? See, there's no... Oh! I know what I did. I got my friend to help me. I'm sorry. I don't know if we can do this. I think I think, let me just see something here. Lever sound. Yeah, you can see I've got my friend to make an edit to the exe that gives me sounds for the levers in certain rooms. And then I just added I manually edited the lever sound to actually have the door with it. So I'm sorry that's not something we can do right now. I'm happy to share this code and you guys can use it for these rooms. You might be able to change the room number. Like there's 317 and there's 106 is here and 108 is probably up here somewhere. Yeah, I'll have to ask him about that. But there is a way that you can do it. but it involves making a camera. So basically we have to I'd have to show you. If you use the DLL to trigger a camera, then you can also make a sound, because the DLL allows you to choose a sound. So in this scenario, I hit the switch and the green bloom plays, but also a camera plays. But you can see how many things are at play here. There's 2 cameras, and there's, good God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 AEV events. You could probably narrow that down to like 3 or something if you're only using 1 camera. 1 camera. Alright, there should have been 2, but anyway. So yeah, you can... I think I'll save that for another tutorial, but it is possible to do sound with this camera, or with this door thing, but you have to have a camera zoom in on it so that there's a sound that plays. Okay, so I think I'm gonna finish my video now. I'll just load this up one last time for us to look at. There are severe limitations, but this is an example of like ingenuity and creativity to kind of like get past some of the limitations that we have. So anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Everyone that's contributed a little bit of information to make this all possible. That's it for now. I think I've covered everything. This will all be, as I said, it'll all be in this file called BIO4.EXE modifications, and there's a lot of information that I've crammed in here. All right, take care. Mr. Curious signing off.